Hi, my name is Anna Spalding, and I want to thank you for being part of this Christian parenting class. As I was praying and reflecting over the topic of Christian parenting, one of the things that came to me was a blog about Pope Francis, and he had a quote on there that said, "A parent finds pride not in having the child be the same as me, who repeats exactly what I say and do, but when the child has received the wisdom and the values that really matter in life." And that got me to remembering the people that helped me come to my value of faith. My mother, who taught me the standard Catholic prayers, my great-grandmother Ruska, who would take me to the outdoor Stations of the Cross at the church, my grandmother, my father's mother, who always had a rosary with her and would say the rosary with us. And that was all before the age of 6. But then I remembered that between the ages of 6 and 16, we moved around a lot. And just as Christ was the spiritual head of the house of the church, my father was the spiritual head of the household. I don't think we lived any place more than 3 days before we were at the Catholic Church. We got there where we became a member of that community. So we usually moved in the summertime. So before I started school, I always had a friend because I would be at the church. There would be a youth activity, a movie night, something where we would meet people. But I also learned that church was not just about meeting people. It was about growing and learning to be a true disciple of Christ. My father traveled a lot on business, but I can remember that when he was home, he was on his knees with us at bedtime, saying our bedtime prayers with us, that we never ate a meal without saying grace, that we never missed a Sunday of Mass. And that didn't matter if we were in town or on vacation. My father used to say, God had given us everything, and we could spend an hour in God's house praising and thanking Him. Then I got to be 16. And you know, 16-year-olds don't necessarily want to go to church with mom and dad. They would rather have been hatched. So Dad established a rule. Before we went out on a Saturday date, we went to Saturday evening Mass. And trust me, as a teenager, I knew where every Saturday evening Mass was. St. Cecilia's had one at 4:30 if I had an early date. If it was a late date, St. Rosalima had one at 6:30. So I could make church. And to prove that I had been there, I'd get a bulletin and I'd post it to the corkboard of my bedroom. Because if you didn't, my father went to the first Mass on Sunday morning. And if he didn't see that bulletin, he woke you up at 6 a.m. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't know any teenager that I have ever met that only wants to see 6 a.m. as they're going to bed, not as they're waking up. So, Dad, I can remember Sunday mornings going, "Dad, I really have one, really, let me find it," so I could go back to bed. My father taught me how to be a disciple of Christ. And like Pope Francis said in that same address, the Father will have formed his child's heart to know on their own what is right and what is wrong, and to feel and speak and act with wisdom and integrity. My father taught me that. My father taught me so much more. But one of the things that I can say is Dad taught us not being Catholic as what we were, but who we are. Thanks, Dad.